Number 10, Magical Play. And before I get every single fangirl pissed off at me, this is Magical Play, not Mysterious Play. Don't confuse the two. I haven't seen Mysterious Play. I'm sure it's perfectly fine, but not my thing. So, I'm not going to comment on that. But Magical Play is a fucking horrible piece of shit. Every episode is only like 5 minutes long, but it feels like 30 minutes. It is just painful to watch. It's basically a story of girls trying to become magical girls. And nothing about it makes sense. Everything is stupid. Nothing is funny. It just tries to be cute, but fails at it because it's just stupid. It's one of those shows that basically people who like anything that has some moe in it would appeal to, but it just fails in every aspect. Nothing is funny. Nothing is interesting. The characters are bad and uninteresting. It's just stupid. Painful to watch. And the worst part is that Kiyohiko Azuma did the character design for this. And he's like the greatest guy ever. The fact that he was involved in something this just horribly bland and boring and stupid it just makes me sad and like anime less. For a long time, this was the worst thing I had ever seen. It deserves that place rightfully. It is just terrible, terrible stuff. Dear God, it's just so dumb. Never watch this. It's atrocious. Number 9, Master Mesquite 99. So, I'm actually a fairly big fan of the original Master Mesquite OVA. I mean, it's a fun, like, 90s OVA. It's just wacky silliness. That's very enjoyable. So because of that, I watched the TV series, being kind of excited that, hey, there's a TV series of this OVA I like. And, dear God, that was a mistake. Holy shit, this is bad. They basically take everything that was likable about the characters from the OVA and completely fuck it up. Nothing is enjoyable about this. It looks terrible. Every episode just has a completely stupid plot line where it's just constant dumb stuff happening. Everything is bad. Everything is just annoying and stupid. The whole thing is just wrong. Like, don't ever touch this. Watch the OVA and then just don't watch this. Number 8, Mayoi Neko Overrun. So, this is a series that I started watching with the expectation that it would be the worst thing that I'd ever seen. But at first, it didn't seem like that terrible. I mean, it was bad, but not that bad. Its problem is that each episode is directed by a different person. So there's no real direction to it. There's no focus. There's no primary point. Like, they don't even focus on the same character consistently. And at first, it wasn't that bad. Primarily because I guess they gave it to the right people. One of my favorite directors actually directed episode 3, and that was almost a good episode. But then it goes into filler, and it just becomes horrible. All the characters are completely one-dimensional and completely annoying. Nothing they do makes any sense. It's just completely irrational, stupid bullshit that is just so incredibly stupid. To properly describe the plot, it was kind of trying to rip off Haruhi, in that there is a rich girl who has a club that doesn't actually do anything. And the point of most of the series is trying to get that club to be doing something. Keep in mind, she's the primary focus of the series, and she's a secondary character. So it just kind of goes to show the primary problem of there is nothing that this is focused on. There is no point to it. There is no central plot line. Nothing connects each episode. It's just random stupid bullshit with characters that aren't interesting, and it doesn't even focus, like, consistently on any of them. And, dear God, I mean, There are a couple of decent things I can say about it. The character design is pretty good, and that's like its one positive aspect, is that it does actually look decent. But this is just so stupid. When I was done with it, I actually went insane for 15 minutes. There was a period where I was incapable of having a thought other than, oh my god, fuck, this thing is horrible. And the only reason that this is not higher up on the list is because, one, its character design was decent, and two, episode 3 was good. So the fact that I can say positive things about this series and it's still where it is just demonstrates how fucking horrible most of it is. Dear God, this is insanely bad. What the fuck? Number 7, Burn Up Scramble. So, the original Burn Up was a one-episode OVA that was primarily pointless. But this got remade as Burn Up W and Burn Up XS in the 90s. And truthfully, I really like those. Burn Up W is probably one of my better liked series. It's a lot of fun, it's very campy, and it does a good job of integrating its fan service and comedy. And Burn Up XS is also pretty good. It's not as good as W, but it's very tongue-in-cheek about its fan service, and it is really quite amusing, and it's very enjoyable. So because I like those, I watched this, and god damn it, was that a mistake. So, this is a series that's main point is the fact that it is a reference to another series, and that it has fan service. The problem is that it fails to execute either of those well. In terms of characters, it gets most of them completely wrong. The only one that is kind of right is Rio, and even then, they just took the fact that she's kind of a ditz and went with that. And that's it. Other than that, every character doesn't fit. Doesn't make sense with their other original character that they're based on. One of the characters, they make a psychic. That makes no sense. She was just the rich girl. That was the point of her character, is that she was the rich girl. And then finally, she's a psychic? And this series completely fails as fan service. Like, if you're going to make a show that's only purpose is the fact that there are, like, tits or something, at least make that look kind of good and actually put tits in it. Like, dear God, there's very little fan service in this. Like, they try to kind of put it in, but there's not much of it, and what there is looks terrible. So it completely defeats the entire point of having the series there. So it looks bad. It is so unimaginably stupid. It's like, there's a dream episode, and dream episodes are bad. Even Pat Labor couldn't pull off a dream episode. And that happens early on, so they were clearly running out of ideas really quick. And the plot that they try to shoehorn at the end is just poorly executed. Everything about this is just a miserable experience. It is just annoying and stupid in every possible aspect. Never watch this. Just watch Burn Up XS and you'll be happy. Number 6, Voltage Fighter Go Kaiser. So, you'll probably notice from a lot of my comments that character design is pretty important to me. And there are a lot of things I can complain about with this series. Like the fact that its plot is completely stupid, its characters are bland and uninteresting, and completely annoying. But truthfully, I'm just gonna go with the character design. This looks fucking horrible. And watching the entire thing is painful, because you have to look at it. And that's really the only thing that I'm going to complain about here, is that it just looks that bad. Like, just based on character design, it made its place on this list. And that's how bad it is.